Courtney, that was bloody fantastic.
Thank you.
Let me tell you something, Courtney. Something has changed in you. Trust me. In the time you were on the show last year to now, your interaction with the audience, the confidence. I think this has been my favourite performance of you so far.
Imagine standing on the America's Got Talent stage. The crowd's on its feet, but your eyes are on Simon Cowell. He's not clapping, but he doesn't need to. When Simon looks moved, leans back like he's been hit by brilliance, you've done something rare. That was Courtney Hadwin in 2018. Just 13, she blew everyone away with her powerful voice. Simon took her under his wing, and with his label backing her, Courtney seemed destined for stardom. But things didn't go as expected. The fame, the lights, the support, they all faded. What happened? Where did it go wrong? Today, we're diving into the rise, fall, and unexpected journey of Courtney Hadwin. Where is she now? Let's find out. Childhood just a kid. Simon Cowell always says he never cries. He's the tough guy who's built stars, crushed dreams, and done it all without batting an eyelid. But the first time he heard Courtney Hadwin sing, he almost shed a tear. While Courtney's journey on the outside seems straightforward, the reality couldn't be further from the truth. And it all began with America's Got Talent. But before we jump right into her AGT experience, let's go over Courtney's path to the show. Courtney was born on July 6, 2004, and grew up in Heselden, a small former mining village near Hartlepool in County Durham, in north-east England. She was raised by her parents, Paul and Anne-Marie, alongside her younger siblings Paul and Melissa. Like with many talented young singers, music was woven into Courtney's life early. She began singing at home when she was just a child. And as she grew, she started to dabble in musical theater and then explored her voice through covers. But it wasn't until she watched Connie Talbot on Britain's Got Talent that her dream to sing seriously began. According to Courtney, she began singing properly at around age 9 or 10, and by 11, while attending Heselden Primary School and shortly after enrolling at the Academy at Shotton Hall, she performed during a lunchtime open mic singing Say Something by A Great Big World and Christina Aguilera. That video was uploaded to Facebook and quickly went viral locally. Classmates were surprised by her vocal prowess, and many immediately urged that she explore her soulful power. And she made sure to do what she was told. After all, she loved singing and writing songs. Courtney's granddad would later share that she began busking in local spaces to help pay for singing lessons and cover family travel costs. Although she didn't make much, she was able to take lessons at multiple local academies, including Shotton Hall Theatre School, Peanuts Masterclasses, Kate Sir's School of Music, and Vocal Ovation by Julie Miles. But it wasn't until 2015, when she appeared on Teen Star UK in Newcastle, that she battled in her first notable competition. Here, she reached the grand final with her rendition of Bob Dylan's Make You Feel My Love, gaining early recognition for her distinctive sound. The following year, at age 12, Courtney won Hartlepool's Performer of the Year award and became a finalist in the Beyond the Lights award ceremony. In 2016, she also auditioned for Open Mic UK, delivering a version of Nothing Compares to You, as part of her rising presence on local stages. That same summer, she opened for Sister Sledge at the South Tyneside Festival in front of over 18,000 people, a milestone that showed what many began to realize. She was no ordinary local performer, she was a star in the making. Fast forward to the next year, and Courtney was once again appearing on another show. This time around, it was The Voice Kids UK. Her audition, a fiery rendition of Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits, earned her a spot on Danny Jones's team. She advanced to the battle round with Dancing in the Street, then reached the semi-final singing James Brown's I Got You, I Feel Good, and concluded the final with And I Am Telling You I'm Not Going, finishing as a finalist. Across these early years, Courtney developed a reputation for her relentless work ethic. She practiced vocal exercises daily, starting lessons as early as age 11 and maintaining them through her teens. These foundational years, rooted in her small village origins and bolstered by open mic nights, competitions, and live performances across northern England, shaped not only her performance style but also her resolve to succeed. And it especially helped that she had a strong support system willing to ensure she took hold of her dreams. From the very beginning, Courtney's musical journey was shaped and sustained by the unwavering support of her family. Her mother recognized her raw potential, saying the performance surpassed expectations, while her father took on side work to support her dream, delivering pizzas and helping with petrol money so that Courtney could travel across the Northeast to auditions and open mic gigs. In fact, when she appeared on The Voice Kids UK and later on AGT, her family moved to LA to support her, particularly her father, who traveled back and forth so she could compete as she continued schooling. Even through the whirlwind of TV shows, record deals, and international attention, Courtney's family remained her anchor. Publicly, she's credited them with keeping her grounded, reminding her of home, and helping preserve her passion rather than turning it into pressure. Their belief in her, not fame or accolades, gave her a steady foundation that helped her voice carry across continents, while her heart stayed rooted in Heselden. Riding on the wave of this support, by early 2018, Courtney had built enough momentum and reputation that she was invited to audition for season 13 of America's Got Talent. That invitation came not from a family decision to pursue Britain's Got Talent, but reportedly through show producers seeking international talent. It was perfect for the young Courtney, but little did she know that it would mark her turning point from local sensation to international stage, and her life would forever be changed. Big city, big dreams at just 13, Courtney stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage as a quiet, almost shy schoolgirl from County Durham, England. She looked nervous, awkward, hardly a star. But then, the first notes of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle began, and everything changed. Her voice was one of a kind, raspy, powerful, older than her years. And as it exploded through the studio, gone was the awkward schoolgirl who had walked through the curtains. In her place was a new Courtney. Wild energy, gritty vocals, full control. Even the audience couldn't keep calm. The big question on all their minds was how a girl this young could possess such a powerful voice. Not even Simon could resist the pull. And as he sat rigid, stunned into silence, his signature poker face cracked, and from his mouth tumbled the words nobody forgot. "You were this shy little thing when you came out, you sing and you're like a lion." Howie Mandel was the first to react, hitting the golden buzzer and sending Courtney through to the live shows. Then, he declared that her voice belonged to a whole different era, and it even reminded him of Janis Joplin, one of the greatest blues rock vocalists of all time. But Howie wasn't the only one who saw her brilliance. Within hours, her audition video went viral, and by the time Tyra Banks introduced her later on the show, the video had been viewed over 310 million times. Insane, isn't it? By the time the quarterfinals aired, fans around the world were already calling her a generational talent, or even a phenomenon. Singers like her come once in a generation, and ours was lucky to have Courtney. She advanced to the quarterfinals and then to the semifinals, each time delivering electric performances that blurred the line between child and old soul performer. By the finals, she had a worldwide fan base, but in the end, the crown wasn't hers to take home. She placed 6th overall, a result that genuinely surprised many. Still, AGT was her breakthrough. It introduced her to an American audience and gave her a global platform. She later returned to compete on AGT, The Champions in 2019, but by then, her trajectory had already shifted. Although it wasn't his golden buzzer that shot her through to the live shows, Simon had something more exciting up his sleeve. Shortly after the 2018 live shows ended, he signed her to his label, Psycho Music, in partnership with Arista. And just like that, 13-year-old Courtney was on her way to becoming a music star. But navigating fame and fortune is easier said than done. And for a 13-year-old, the pressure of the industry soon became too hot to handle. Everyone wanted a piece navigating fame. It was mid-2018, shortly after Courtney walked off that AGT stage under a hail of confetti. The world already had her in its gaze, but the industry wanted more than just a viral moment. They wanted a star. Instant fame followed pretty quickly. Her audition played on talk shows and streamed across news segments around the globe. Headlines called her the next Janis Joplin, the British soul sensation, or even the 13-year-old who sang like a legend. Overnight, she became a household name in America and a fast-rising curiosity back in the UK. Then December rolled around, and with it came the deal that changed Courtney's life. At just 14 years old, Courtney signed a long-term recording and publishing contract with Psycho Music in partnership with Arista Records. In interviews surrounding the announcement, she shared that she felt amazing to be joining the company. Especially excited to do original songs and stay true to herself and the music she liked, Courtney described the moment as a dream come true. But she couldn't have been more wrong. 14-year-old Courtney didn't know it at the time, but all that excitement carried a heavy weight. She was still just a teenager, still learning how to breathe on stage. And she was suddenly expected now to deliver chart-ready music, interviews, promotional appearances in a machine built for grown-ups. How could she handle all of these? Backstage that season, Courtney shared how the pressure mounted. She needed to perform, to close the show, to bring energy, not just once, but every week. And even though Howie's support kept her grounded with his cheers fueling her passion further, the nerves threatened to overwhelm her. Behind the cameras, record executives began positioning her as a brand. They pitched her sound, her image, her stage persona. The comparisons to Janis Joplin were compelling, but also a trap. And just like that, Courtney felt torn between the artist she wanted to be and the product she was expected to become. At 14, she entered studio sessions with songwriting teams, producers, and industry managers, all steering her toward a polished pop-soul crossover. Courtney, however, was still finding her voice, literally and artistically. She later described feeling that people around me were telling me what I should sound like and who I should be, and how she lost control of her path as her early teens passed by while she was in studios. It was exhilarating and exhausting. She was traveling between the UK and the US, expected to record originals, shoot promotional materials, and stay media-ready. For a teenager still living at home, it was too much. It all felt surreal and isolating. And even though YouTube comments and fan messages praised her raw energy, beneath the praise, Courtney was quietly struggling to feel in charge of her career. And yet, the early buzz was relentless. Critics marveled at her energy, her stage presence, and her voice's mature grit. Producers labeled her a force of nature. Rolling Stone-style write-ups praised that she came in like a storm. Still, in private moments, she admitted feeling like a character being directed, even when performing original songs. She described dozens of writing sessions where she had to bend to themes or sounds she didn't fully believe in. Pretty soon, she found herself asking, "Is this me? Or is this what they want me to be?" Fame had arrived fast, and it felt heavy. The world saw a star in the making, but Courtney felt like a teenage girl caught between her own emotions and the pressure of endless expectations. It was that tension that set the stage for what came next. Too much too soon, too much. Too soon fame is great. It's wonderful even. But imagine you're a teenager who's not even legal yet, navigating the confusing world of the music industry. Sounds like a hellish life, doesn't it? Well, that's because for Courtney, it kind of was. Don't get her wrong, it wasn't like she didn't enjoy the life or the seeds of her hard work and everything else that came with it. It was just too much, too soon. Pretty quickly, Courtney's world became a whirlwind the moment she joined Psycho/Arista. In the blink of an eye, her life revolved around deadlines, meetings, and recording sessions, not songwriting on her terms, but a rigid assembly line built to manufacture hits. And for someone who'd found joy in the seemingly little things like creative control, all of these felt overwhelming. Like we've mentioned over and over again, she was only 14 and already, she found herself in back-to-back sessions, expected to deliver polished pop soul tracks within tight timelines. A typical day could start with breakfast in the UK, meetings with label execs by noon, and a long haul to a US studio by evening. Those sessions often included multiple producers who would pitch beats, hooks, and themes that Courtney didn't necessarily connect with. She later reflected that everyone around me was telling me who I should be. And this was only a small reflection of how her creative input was often overshadowed by industry voices. As she worked through co-writing sessions and production teams, Courtney soon began to feel detached from the songs she was recording. In interviews, she expressed frustration at how she was molded into a sound that fit a predefined mold. Compromised emotion, filtered style, slick pop production that clashed with her gritty vocal roots. She was still discovering her artistic identity, yet being pressured to conform. That tension chipped away at her confidence, turning what had once been fulfilling into something unfulfilling. With a voice more mature than most college students, her mind was still that of a teenager. Courtney soon began to face mental exhaustion. She described bouts of overwhelm in backstage interviews, closing the show every week, carrying the energy of the finale, while trying to hold herself together. Despite praise from Howie and fans, the internal weight felt heavy. She even admitted to feeling isolated, traveling between continents, surrounded by suits, missing home, missing realness. And this was when the withdrawal began. It started slowly but steadily. First, the social media posts dwindled. Next, her presence on mainstream media shrank. Fans were worried, and they soon began to wonder where she'd gone. Were there creative disagreements? Was she ill? And what was worse, there weren't any public updates to keep supporters in the loop. This, combined with media speculation, began to feed rumor mills. Did Courtney get into an accident? Was she bedridden in a hospital? Where was Courtney? She was still here, just retreating to reclaim herself and escape the pressure. Courtney later teased upcoming material that felt angry and real, with lyrics like, "You only want me when I'm smiling," signaling deeper emotional undercurrents. She hinted that there was more depth, more pain, more honesty waiting to be unpacked. And with the rumor mills twisting and turning, everyone was eager to find out what had happened to the doe-eyed young girl who strutted onto the stage all those years ago.